Everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at Hole in the Sky from Black Sabbath. It really took me a long time to try to figure out which amp to use, EVH, AOR, LA30BL. Don't really know which one was going to get me the Sabbath tone. It took me a long time to figure it out. Okay, so the song is tuned to C sharp standard, and in the track you're going to listen to, one track had a DS1, the other track had a rat on it. For the lesson part, it's going to be an SD1. I wish I had a treble booster, but I don't. That's what we're using. Let's get right to it. So there you have it. That was pretty much most of Hole in the Sky. It repeats those riffs a couple more times. The main riff is repeated for the solo, and I believe the other riff comes around, I think, once more too. Anyway, that's the whole song. The main riff, the verse riff, intro part, whatever you want to call it. It's hard to hear on the recording, but it sounds like they play it differently a couple different times. So in that track, I tried to do a couple different ways, but it's all the same notes, just how I decide to get the rhythm. So anyway, it starts on the A string, kind of like swing fill, but so it's two open notes on the A string, and then you do a pull-off hammer-on from 7th fret to 5th fret back to 7th on the D string. So. And then you do a little dyad on the D and G string at the 5th fret up to the 7th. Second time around, you just do a power chord from the 5th fret on the A string to the 3rd fret on the A string. So all together. Right, and that's basically most of the song. And it sounds like when I listen to it, perhaps they accent it differently in the verses to something more like this. And that's simply just not doing the, you don't go back to the 7th fret. You just do you pull off and go back to the A string. Yeah, and that's it. Then you do the same diads and the same power chord, so. And then the kind of like, maybe not the chorus, maybe it's it's a hook, I guess. It do the same, the whole thing is you're just kind of getting the same swing, but. So that's an open note. And then you're bending up at the 5th fret on the G string. Then you're doing a power chord on the D and G string at the 5th fret. And you put a little stank on it. You put a little Iommi stank on it. 5th fret on the A string, power chord. And really that's that whole part. Open notes on the A, bend up on the 5th fret on the G string, power chord bend on the D string at the 5th fret, and a power chord bend at the 5th fret on the A string. So. And that's that whole riff. So then we have for me it's kind of weird, like the chorus riff, it kind of shifts gears a little bit. It kind of confuses me going into it, but it's just a 5th fret on the G, 6th fret on the B. And then you move up to the 7th fret G, 8th fret B. Then you just do a descending power chord at the 3rd fret A to the 2nd fret A string. So C chord and a B chord. And I also like to throw in the D string open note because I think that's what they're doing, but it's so hard to hear in the recording, especially for that riff. It's kind of a very noisy section, but. So you do the 5th fret, 6th fret part to the 7th fret, 8th fret part 3 times. Then you end up back on the 5th fret, 6th fret part for half a time, and then the fall. So all together. That's basically the whole song. And I'll put a link to my Bandcamp. I'll have the drum track available on Bandcamp. So if you want to download the drum to play along to the track that was at the beginning, without me playing just the drums, you'll have that available. Yeah, so that's been Hole in the Sky from Black Sabbath. Not much more to say. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit.